This is Cody with Common Sense Sports. Today's Soccer Thursday, and we talk about the January transfer window. Hey everybody, this is Cody and James with Common Sense Sports again. First thing, I want to apologize for the intro. The wind was blowing incredibly hard today. Couldn't keep the camera straight.
Super cold too.
James had to stand behind the camera and keep it stable, and that shot I made was absolutely terrible. But it was so cold we couldn't shoot what we wanted to, so I want to apologize for that. It was nothing really that funny today. Again, if you've been watching the challenges, hopefully you have at the very end of the videos. Today is the final one, right?
Final one, yeah. And you're
up 2 to 1.
You're up 2 to 1. So unless I can pull off a tie today on your sport.
Yeah. So if he ties it, then we both have to do the forfeit at the end.
Yeah.
But stay tuned for that. We'll mention it again at the end of the video. But today we want to talk about the January transfer window, right? And just the Premier League. We don't want to.
Yeah, we're doing just the Premier League
to keep it shorter.
To keep it shorter, keep it easier. It's probably the most popular league too.
Now the quickest, real quick, what I want to jump into, just mention Modric's Ballon d'Or because it kind of leads into what we're going to talk about a little bit. But I thought that was a big deal because for the first time in several years, Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi didn't win it. And you know, I think it has a lot. Obviously, I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with the World Cup performance.
That, and I mean, of course, his performances for Real Madrid too. They won the Champions League.
Yeah. But I mean
that was the one that pushed him over the top. I think
his World Cup performance was unbelievable.
It was.
He just dominated. Croatia dominated for a long time.
Fun to watch.
And I think they lost to France at the end because I think they were just beat up several extra time games.
Yeah.
But his World Cup performance, and then you know, this always pains me to talk about because this was a shame that USA didn't make the World Cup. But you know, I don't want to go too much into that.
No,
but the reason why I want to mention that is because Pulisic is a hopeful talent for the USA.
Yeah,
and
young guy.
He's looking to go to Chelsea, and we'll get into more of that in a second. But he's looking to go to Chelsea from Dortmund. Of course, he delayed that a little bit, but I think he's a big talent.
No, he is. Has a lot of talent, a lot of potential.
Unbelievable midfielder, unbelievable shooting, good pace, good passing. So I think he's a good playmaker. And that leads into the transfer window talks.
And you wanted to talk about Arsenal first.
I wanted to get into Arsenal first, kind of just go in alphabetical here, just so we don't get mixed up. But Arsenal's 6th in the table.
Yeah.
They got Denis Suarez, 25 years old. He's a playmaker, but I honestly don't think that's enough to get them into.
They're 3 points off 4. They're 3 points off Chelsea at 4th place.
Arsenal's right behind Man United, and I don't think they can get into a Euro spot. I personally don't believe so. I think Man United's come back on strong. I think they worked out their problems, but I don't think that's.
Plus, you got the 7-goal difference too between them and Chelsea, which could become big if they get close and tie it. I mean, that's 7 goals is a lot to make up. And how many games do they have left in the season now?
Yeah, I don't think it's enough for them to jump into a Champions League or Euro spot. But you got Bournemouth that I want to talk about next, and I think they made some big plays.
I mean, right dead mid-table.
They're mid-table. They're doing pretty decent. They got Chris Metham.
Yeah.
Defense. Now Dominic Solanke, young talent, 21 years old.
I remember I was reading and they were talking about he's probably not going to start all the time because they still have Callum Wilson. Who's been playing really good this year. But
I think it's a young
depth is
talent.
always important.
Yes. But I think that's a young talent. I think that helps them a lot. Yeah. They got Chris Metham defense and Nathaniel Klein.
Nathaniel Klein's always solid.
Now this is going to be a toss-up for some people because it came from Liverpool, and you know Liverpool's second.
Yeah. And
they're competing. They just tied to West Ham, but they're competing for first place. They're tied with Man City on points
right now. Yeah. 1 game in hand. They still have a game in hand.
But some people have complained about this and said this was stupid for Liverpool to do because they're competing for that spot. It's dumb to let Nathaniel Klein go.
To compete for the title.
Yeah, compete for the title. So, but you know, they said he was plagued with injuries. There were some injury problems there with Nathaniel Klein. So, I mean, you can go either or. So
let him go out and get some game time, I guess.
Me personally, I would disagree with it. I wouldn't want to give him up to anybody. If he's injured, I'd just put him on the bench.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to give him up. That's just me. I think that's. I disagree with that. But now, you know, we go into Chelsea. This one's kind of sad to talk about. Fabregas is gone.
Been there for a long time.
Been there for a long time. And he's been a talent at Chelsea for a long time.
He was a part of their World Cup title, right?
Yeah. He's been a big talent for a long time. So that's kind of sad that he's out. But
yeah, it happens.
It happens.
Age gets everybody.
Players get old.
Yeah.
They go. Higuain
was a
big pickup from Juventus. But at the same time, they got Higuain maybe to make up for. They let Morata out on loan and they let Batshuayi out on loan.
Yeah.
They didn't get Pulisic.
No.
I mentioned him earlier because he wanted to delay. He wanted to delay his transfer to Chelsea from Dortmund because he wanted to give himself the best opportunity and the best opportunity to really perform. Now Fulham, we start getting to some teams that are in relegation battle. I don't think this is enough for them to make up anything, to make up any ground. Maybe they'll surprise me. Fulham was one of my favorite teams back in the day because Clint Dempsey was on their team.
Clint Dempsey played there.
He was unbelievable. He kept them out of relegation for a while with his unbelievable play when he was in his prime. Nordveit, they got as a center back. Babel, I don't think he's enough as a forward. I think he's too old.
He's old, yeah.
And they got Markovic on a free transfer. But now we get in, we talked about a relegation team going to Liverpool and Man City.
Yeah, the two champion contenders right now.
They didn't get any pickups, but they let Solanke, Klein, and Markovic go.
Yeah.
Markovic, went to Fulham.
Of course, Markovic wasn't getting a lot of playing time there.
No, but letting Klein go again, I kind of give my thoughts on that. I mean, what do you think?
But of course, like I said, it's always good to have depth. You never know when you're going to have that key injury, or anything can happen.
And they said they were afraid that he was injured and things like that, and they didn't want to keep him there because it didn't help him at all. But
if they were a bench player and hurt and not getting a lot of time, then I could understand it.
But I think Nathaniel Klein is a high caliber player.
Now, if he's the start, if he's should be starting and he's hurt, I'm not getting rid of him.
Well, with how good of a player he is, I would let him go anyway. But
he's young. He's not even that old, is he? What is he? 20 in mid-20s?
He's still young. I don't want to harp on that too much because
especially to another Premier League team. I think that was probably the biggest.
He went to Bournemouth and they're mid-table.
Yeah, they're mid-table.
I know they're not competing for a Champions League spot.
No, but
still, that's competition. I don't know. I wouldn't let him go. Now, Man City pretty much did nothing. I expect that. My favorite team, personally.
Yeah, that's your favorite team.
It's been my favorite team for a long time. But they didn't do anything. I expect
they didn't really need to. They were at that point.
They're competing for a title spot.
They're at that point where they don't have a lot.
They have a lot of depth. They have a competing team.
Look at their team. They got Salah and all the not Salah.
De Bruyne.
Mahrez, De Bruyne.
They got Mahrez. They got De Bruyne. They got Aguero.
Salah's with Liverpool.
But I don't think they need to get anybody.
No.
Now, Man United, they were struggling in the beginning. They had a lot of problems with their coach.
Yep.
The personalities weren't really mixing too well, but it seemed like they worked that out. When you have a coach with a fiery personality, that can happen.
Especially depending on who the players have played for in the past.
But that's true. But they seem to work out the problems. They're in a Europa spot, maybe competing for a Champions League spot. Yeah. They let Fellaini go.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad to see because Fellaini's been there for a while.
He has. He's a big presence. He's a big body.
I wouldn't say that's as big of a deal as Fabregas, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I think Fabregas is a little bit more of a talent.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nothing against Fellaini, but I just think Fabregas is a better midfielder. But they let Fellaini go. And then, going to Newcastle, another team that's... I talked about relegation teams. I think Fulham... I don't think Fulham doing enough. Newcastle's right on the edge.
Newcastle's one of those teams that always seems like be down there, but finds a way.
Well, I think they're definitely going to find a way this time.
Finds a way to stay in the league.
The simplest one, they picked up Barrera defense. I don't think he's that strong of a defender, me personally. But the biggest one that I think they picked up was Miguel Almiron.
From Atlanta United.
From the MLS.
$20 million transfer, so they're expecting big things from him.
And I think he was the biggest. I think he was the best striker in the MLS. They did win the MLS Cup,
which says a lot. Did they? I didn't even know that they won. That says a lot. You saying he's the best because Ibra's in the MLS now, and
well, I think he just performed the best in terms of playoff teams getting there. I just think he was the best talent that you could pick up in terms of making your team go forward.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to get them some goals, keep them out of the relegation.
Is he a younger player?
Yeah. Keep them out of relegation battle. They're at 24 points. They're right in the mix, but I think that's going to help them get over the edge. And then but Tottenham Hotspurs. That's the last team we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Dembele left. This is a big deal to me because Tottenham's third. Dembele left. He went to China. I hate teams going to China, but he went to China. Well, real quick, the reason why I hate players going to China is because I think a lot of them were doing it for money.
Yeah.
I don't think this was for money. Dembele, I think it was because of the physical demands of the Premier League. The Premier League is really physical.
It is.
He's
a lot of people say it's the most physical league.
Well, he's 30 years old. You know, I said we didn't want to talk about the Liga Santander, the Spanish league, and other leagues. I think they're more about finesse, things like that. You know, you got Lionel Messi driven through people, Suarez. You know, if you want to get into physical, like people, but but I don't think that, you know, that's. I wrote down that I thought it was dumb, but I don't think it is.
I mean, and you said he's 30.
He's 30. The only reason why I disagree with this is because the season's not over with yet. They're third. There's a possible chance they could drop down.
At least he was being honest about it, though. Better than him, you know, hurting the team on the field.
Well, right. He's an unbelievable midfielder. Yeah. I wouldn't want him to go, but I'd rather go to the MLS.
If they felt like he couldn't do it anymore, I guess they made the right decision.
But you know, that was the last thing I want to talk about, the transfer window.
Yeah.
That was the last big thing. And then I wanted to wrap it up with the top six. Now, we talked about Man City's first, Liverpool second, you got Tottenham third, Chelsea fourth, Man U fifth. So those are you got the top four Champions League, and you got the fifth one, the Euro spot. And then you got Arsenal, that's just out of that, trying to compete for a Euro spot.
1 point off that Euro spot.
So I think they may be able to do it, but I don't think they will. I think Man United's got more talent. I think they've worked out their struggles. I think Man U's going to stay. They may jump Chelsea for a Champions League spot.
It's possible.
And I think Chelsea, I think they will. I think Man U, and I hate to say this as a Man City fan, but I think Man U might jump Chelsea just because I feel Chelsea let too many of their depth go in the final third.
If Higuain comes in, plays really, really good, but I mean, he's going to have to play at a high level the rest of the season.
Which he's capable of doing that. Higuain's good, but.
And I think you're right. I think it's probably the top six right there are probably.
I think the Champions
set League, because Wolves are 9 points off at 7.
Yeah, I think it's the top.
So I mean, they'd have to have they just have to have one of those streaks. That's impressive though, because they haven't been in the Premier. They didn't get promoted that long ago. Wolves didn't.
Well, the Wolves usually struggle. So they did surprise me. Mid-table kind of surprised me a little bit, but you know. And then we wanted to get into the relegation stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I have at Newcastle the cutoff. I don't think Newcastle is going to get relegated.
No.
Because of that pickup with Almiron.
No, I think they're safe.
But the reason why I circled them is because they're on 24, Southampton's on 24, Burnley's on 24, and then you got the third final spot for relegation, the cutoff. You got Cardiff at 22. So it's just one win out. But I don't think that Newcastle's going to be the one.
It's going to be hard.
I think it's going to be between Southampton, Burnley, Cardiff. Fulham, I don't think has a chance, and Huddersfield, I don't think has a chance.
Huddersfield doesn't. Now Fulham, I don't know.
That's going to be a toss-up.
It's going to be hard. I think they can do it.
5 points off. I don't know. I don't think
it's hard. It's hard.
But you got Cardiff at. I think it's going to be between Cardiff.
Fulham and Huddersfield are probably down. They're probably going back down.
But would you say Cardiff, Burnley, and Southampton probably going to be competing for that third and final spot?
Probably, because I mean Newcastle always finds a way to stay up anyway.
Well, I think they are definitely this season. I don't think it's a question.
If I had to pick one,
I want to say Southampton.
That's who I was going to say. I was going to say Southampton. I don't know why.
Well, I just don't think
they've avoided relegation really close last few years, and eventually. Stuff like that runs out and you do get relegated. I think Southampton.
I don't think they've made any plays. I don't think they're doing enough. I think they're going to go out.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I agree with you. That's who I was going to say.
But is there anything else you want to add?
Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to end up winning the league?
Man City.
I think Liverpool's going to win the league.
To be honest with you, I want Man City.
I know you want
because I'm a Man City fan.
Yeah.
People always hear me talk about I like to see different teams win because it's my favorite team. Not in this case.
No, you want your favorite team to win.
But if I was a person just watching it just for the sake of it, I would probably say Liverpool because they haven't done it in a long time. I mean, they haven't been in this position in a long time. And they came on strong in the beginning of the season.
I think, Liverpool has a game in hand on Man City right now. I think that game is going to be huge on whether they go a point up, 3 points up, or they lose. I think they've only lost once. Liverpool's only lost once this season.
Well, that's huge. The tie to West Ham was big, though.
It was because West Ham's one of those mid-tier.
But I think you might be right. I think you might be right.
I think the next game's going to be huge for Liverpool.
We'll see.
Wish I knew who they were playing. I'm not even sure who they're playing.
We'll see, though. Anyway, everybody, that's what we think. Let us know what you think in the comments section down below. Always hit that notification bell. Like and subscribe, please. It's a big help. Trying to keep the videos shorter.
Trying to, yeah. I mean, when you got a lot to talk about.
The talks we enjoy. This is our favorite part. It's like a sit-down part. We just enjoy talking about sports.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we started this. But let us know what you think. Transfer windows, let us know who you think. If you thought it was stupid, letting some people go on loan, picking some people up, who you think maybe some people should pick up. Let us know where you think people might finish.
Yes, please, yeah, let us.
That's something we could talk about.
We want to hear what you guys think.
And let us know who you might think get relegated. But that's it for us. This is our last challenge of the week.
Yeah, challenge coming up right after this. And then tomorrow, it's going to be more of our free day.
Tomorrow's the...
Forfeit's going to be tomorrow, too. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be fun to watch.
You'll see. We already know.
Yeah, we know.
But you'll see. Watch the challenge video, and you'll see who's going to have to do the forfeit. And then tomorrow will be our Wild Card Fridays, where we talk about...
Yeah, some lists.
We'll give a list. We'll do a short list.
Some predictions.
Then whoever has to do the forfeit, we'll do a forfeit.
Kind of just a fun day.
So tune in that tomorrow, and hope you enjoyed. Here's our challenge.
Thank you, guys. Our Thursday challenge. It's our soccer challenge.
Yeah, and I better win this.
Cody played soccer. That was the sport he played.
Yep. All conference, all district, honorable mention, all state, and I got it because of long passing. So if my coach is watching this and I lose, don't get mad. I haven't played in 7 years.
And I've never played.
Well, yeah, so if I do lose this, I guess I probably automatically lose. Well, it is Thursday, so we'll know the results. I'll go first.
You better not lose this challenge. Everybody will make fun of you if you lose this challenge.
So, here we go. Okay, so the second round of 5.
Going for the 5. Trying to put it away now. Alright, now it's my turn for the soccer challenge. High school, they called me Young Pele. They also called me Young Joe Montana, so I was Joe Pele in high school. Let's go.
Stop it. Get some help.
Call me? You know what I call this? What? Pele special.
Stop it.
Yeah, I have 5 points total.
So I need to try and get 4. At least 4. Try and tie it up here.
So I'm not disowned now. I win, right?
I should get a +5 because I've never played the sport before.
Yeah.